Members of our golf clubs, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Royal Plaque. Company today, the Thomson family, Mrs. Mary Thomson. Welcome, Mary. Son Andrew, sister Rpgc, and husband Gary. Graham Ryan he's president of the Golf Society of Australia. Welcome, Graham. And we had two other people who were supposed to be here. They were delayed because of some problems during the week. They went out with a certain person and they had too many drinks and they couldn't come. So, not mentioning any names. We have Mark Holcomb from the captain of Royal Plaque. Is Mark here? Yeah. I think Mark might have had to go.
I think he had to go.
Yeah. We've got Peter McCluskey, captain of Royal Plaque Veterans Golf Club. And David Andrew from Royal Plaque Veterans Golf Club. We've got Margaret Harvey, president of Royal Plaque Ladies Golf Club. And Joy Coppinger, the vice captain. Today we gathered at Royal Plaque Golf Course for the simple and poignant dedication and unveiling of a plaque in recognition and honour of our patron and member, Peter Thomson. For many years there have been attempts to have statues erected, and most recently the name change of Old Poplar Road to Peter Thomson Drive. All these initiatives failed, but the people who put them forward for critical appraisal, like Sam Komodo and Bruce Sutherland, did not give up, nor did our club. This plaque shows, if at first you don't succeed, try again. It works by asking reasonable people in charge, placing stern rules and somewhat more relaxed regarding these matters, allowing us to gain permission in a more willing, common sense way and allowing us for a generally positive community sentiment. Now that's a lot of funny talk for, we broke the rules. In 2003, was the centenary of Royal Plaque Golf Club, and it was celebrated here by Lord Mayor John So, Peter Thomson and our members. Lord Mayor So proposed that a plaque be struck to acknowledge this wonderful slice of sporting history. Thomson indicated where he would like the plaque unobtrusively at the back of the first tee. As you can see, the first tee is now a garden bed. Brendan Maloney reported this comment in Golf Australia magazine, and at the club was still waiting. Now we've come to the end of our wait. Things have changed since 2003, and now we have a garden bed, which I've said. So we've chosen a more visible location where golfers can see who preceded them on this course. Messaging the idea of this plaque was the responsibility of 5 people. Tugun, Bruce Sullivan, Len Henderson, and myself. We started in July 2020 in the middle of COVID emergency and have plodded along to this conclusion. Peter Thomson is recognised worldwide as one of the greatest golfers ever, and we at Royal Plaque think of him as our own. So much so, his having started to play here and win Royal Plaque Club Championships sheds this whole place in a different light, where comparisons can be drawn. I am a member of this golf club and played at the same annual championships as Peter Thomson. You can say that, anybody here can say that. The golfer and journalist Mike Clayton interviewed Thomson in Golf Australia magazine in August 1999 and asked, "Is there a secret to knowing how to win championships and tournaments?" Peter Thomson said, "There's no secret to win, but it's by experience you learn what to do. But before you do it, imagine it's 100 times more difficult than it is. And once it happens to you, even by accident, you've suddenly got a revelation. And from then on, it's easy." So Mike Clayton says, "Where was your first revelation?" He says, "I suppose it was at the club championships at Royal Plaque." I've often stressed the point that winning a tiny thing in retrospect, it was a tiny thing, but at the time it was enormous. And it really is the same as winning the ultimate, like the British Open. Because everything comes from within you. You know, you bring tension and pressure on yourself, and it doesn't matter how many knots are on the prize check or even the number of people watching. That's nothing to do with it. It's really all within you. The same pressure can generate within you when holding the putt, winning a pennant match, or holding the putt for the Open. It's the same thing. I hope the words on this plaque convey to everyone who reads them that they can do better by starting out at this course at World Park and getting your own revelation. And remember, if it happens once, it can happen again. And as Andrew Thomson reminded me, this club ought to produce another club champion, Open champion, sorry. Thanks to everyone for turning out for our dedication. And now it's over to Andrew Thomson for a few words. And then after that, Mrs. Thomson to do the review.
Thank you very much, Chris, and to you and your colleagues here at this wonderful club. On behalf of our family, I'd like to give the most sincere thanks for the effort you made to have this plaque, first of all, granted permission by the authorities, and secondly, having it manufactured and placed here today for unveiling by my mother. As I'm sure a lot of you know, but perhaps some of you don't, my father grew up in McVeigh Street, across the road there, I think from the 5th green, and as a child he was struck mildly with a bout of polio. Those days there were no remedies for such a virus, but the doctor prescribed as much walking as possible. So with a park close by and a golf course within the park, he began to walk, and his maternal grandfather came down from Blackwood and gave this boy, aged I think about 12, at first a left-handed hickory club, because Dad was a left-handed batsman. But I think he tried a few times with this left-handed club and gave it away and said, no, I think I'm better off right-handed. So the next thing I understand, his grandfather turned up with a club very much like this. This is a 2-iron, made in the middle 1930s, a pyrotone shaft, and he gave this to the young Peter and said, try your best with this club. So Dad, of course, was just a local boy. He wasn't a member of the golf club, and neither were any of his family. So I understand from what he occasionally muttered that he used to sneak on and find golf balls that had been lost in the bushes. And then he'd sneak onto the course once the players had disappeared and start hitting them with a club like this. And one day, one of the club members caught this boy hitting golf balls on perhaps that 5th hole. All the balls are in the middle of the green. And the member said, did you do this? And I think Dad, feeling a little guilty having been caught sneaking on the course, said, yes, it was me. And then the member said, well, from now on I think you'd better come and play with us. And that led to him joining the club, playing in the club championship and going on to greater things. So there's the example. Anyone can do it, and it was perhaps a sheer accident. The silver lining in the cloud of polio that struck him that got him to play. But if it wasn't for the members of the club, he'd never have got anywhere. So that's where it was, and that's where, as you said, Chris, it can happen again. So again, on behalf of our family, thank you very much for this honour for Dad. He's up there somewhere looking down with a chuckle, and everything he said to Mike Clayton in that interview is true, because we all know it happens to all of us every time we go out on the links. Many thanks. Thank you, Andrew.
The microphone.
By the Thomson family. Sorry, we've been gifted the club by the Thomson family, so that's a very, very important thing to us. And I just want to thank you very much for that. Mrs. Thompson. You want to say something?
I'd like to join Andrew in thanking you all very, very much indeed. It was certainly part of Peter's youth here, and he enjoyed it always very much. He talked a lot about it over the years. So that's all I'm really going to say is the thank you, but I'm loving having a look at this finally.
Thank you. I'm just going to read what it actually says on the plaque for those of you who haven't seen it. Oh, maybe. Do you want to do it, Tugan? You've got a better voice than me.
Oh.
Doesn't need the mic.
Peter William Thomson, AOCBE. In 1954, the 25-year-old Peter Thomson, 1929 to 2001, became the first Australian golfer to bring home the British Open Championship trophy. He won it again in 1955, 56, 58 and 65. Born and raised in Brunswick, he joined Royal Park Golf Club at age 13 with a handicap of 20 and was a scratch player when he won the club championship 4 years later. Thomson served as president of the Australian PGA for 32 years and chairman of the Drug and Alcohol Rehabilitation Organisation Odyssey House for 5 years. He pioneered golf promotion in Asia and, through his Melbourne-based companies, designed and built golf courses around the world. This plaque, commissioned by the members of the Royal Park Golf Club, Royal Parks Veterans Club and Royal Park Ladies Golf Club, recognises Thomson's outstanding contribution to the game and his connection to this place.
Thank you. Margaret, Harvey is represented from the Ladies Club. He's going to say a few words, followed by Peter McCluskey from the Veterans.
Yes, I just want to follow up from exactly what Andrew and Mrs. Thomson said. In thanking the gentlemen for including the ladies, you really worked tirelessly, and I know how much effort the small group of you put in to having this become a reality. So just on behalf of the ladies, thank you for including us, and thank you for a wonderful job that you did.
Thanks, Chris. Royal Park Veterans would like to thank Royal Park Golf Club and the particular members that worked very hard to get this together, Bruce Sutherland and Chris and the others. And I'd just like to say that when I was growing up, typical of a young post-war fellow, I guess, growing up in Victoria, that Peter Thomson was golf to us, and golf was something up in the cloud there that was very difficult to attain to. I guess football and cricket were all that we could get out to. We couldn't hit golf balls around in the backyard or the park, but we knew about Peter Thomson. There were a few others around, of course, Kel Nagel and Bruce Crampton and Bruce Devlin, but Peter Thomson was ours, and he won the British Open 4 times, of course, and was so excited that he won it the 5th time, some years later, as a more mature man, and it was a great inspiration to us, and I reckon that's a lot of what's gone behind the interest in golf that we have today. So thank you very much to the club and the Thomson family for being here today.
Thanks everyone for coming. I think we've had a very successful reveal, and I could not be happier with regard to the work that Dougal, Bruce, Flame put in. Absolutely top class stuff. Thank you.